What if the entire world was shrunk down to just one block? Would you be able to survive? We are here to find out. Welcome to Minecraft One Block. In this series, we must test our survival skills and learn to survive with the only one block we are given. It's a good thing that one block regenerates. Most of you have probably heard of this magical block challenge in the sky and are familiar with the tactics. I, for one, am not and have never played one block before. So this series will test my lack of survival skills and my clumsiness. Stay tuned for a thrilling one block experience as we journey together to see how long we can survive. Let's get started. We are gonna go ahead and start by collecting a bunch of blocks to create a larger platform to stand on. Now we can take these extra dirt blocks and start expanding our one block outwards to help reduce the risk of falling off into the void. Now, for the moment, all we have is this little platform, but as we expand this island, hopefully we can start to create something a little bit more impressive. And just like that, we already have our first animal. I'm going to utilize this water bucket real quick to place some dirt blocks beneath our one block. This will help falling blocks like sand, gravel, and concrete powder from falling straight into the void. And of course, we wouldn't want to be lonely, so the game went ahead and gave us our first friend. Now that we're able to start gathering some wood, we should be able to craft our crafting table and some of our first tools. And it looks like we already have a bee joining us today. Bees can help us significantly on a floating sky island because they'll help things grow quicker, such as crops and saplings. This is very beneficial on an island with barely any water or grass. Our first chicken that just decided we didn't need that sheep. Well, anyways, now that the chicken just decided to take matters into his own hands, let's continue mining for some more blocks. Well, the good news is we have another sheep. The bad news is now we have 2 chickens. I'm gonna hopefully extend our sky island a little bit to prevent that from happening again. And the chickens are already pushing. I guess if we were playing King of the Sky Island, the chickens would be winning 1-0. But let's just try to be friends until we can extend this island a little bit before we get all pushy. And there goes the sheep. That didn't last very long. Well, we are back down to 2 chickens. No sheep. Apparently, chickens do not like sheep in this game. Anyways, I am going to start by using our wooden slabs to create a round platform surrounding our one block. I am planning to turn this one block into a floating sky city, with the one block being the center of the civilization. We will start with this round platform and raise our city one block around it. We will have our farms, our barns, and our houses all coming together to create our giant sky city. The one block will be at the center in a ruined temple style area, acting as a symbol of the start of our civilization. And it looks like we just got our first wolf. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have any bones to tame him with right now, so he's just gonna have to hang out for the moment. But I'm gonna go ahead and take these dirt that I got and kind of break these wooden slabs here to kind of get this grass growing a little bit. Then I can take our extra dirt and start working on some garden areas that are going to be surrounding our one block. I plan to have 4 gardens on each corner of the one block, and this will be where we can grow our trees, our crops, and anything else we may need. In the center of the gardens, I plan to have some roadways that are going to wind through our city and connect all of our buildings together. But for now, we're just gonna have to mine away at our one block until we can get enough blocks to do that. But now that we've got some cobblestone, I can make our first stone pickaxe and stone sword. The pickaxe will help us mine these new stone ores, and the sword will help us defend from all these level 3 mobs that we're dealing with now. And got our first skeleton. Now we can kill the skeleton and get bones to tame our wolf. Now we just gotta take our bones and give them to our wolf. Where did our wolf go? I can see his lead still attached. I can hear him. Did he fall underneath our sky island? I'm gonna use our water bucket and try to see if he fell down there. Wolf? Oh, there he is. Now, theoretically, I should be able to tame him and he will come right back up. So let's hope that this works the way that I plan it does. Now, all we should have to do is break this lead and hope he... Perfect. He came right back up. Hello, wolf. He is pretty hungry from that experience, so we'll just have to give him the rotten flesh that we have and hope we can get some more food for him soon. I'm just gonna scoot him away from the one block a little bit to hopefully prevent any hostile mobs from hurting him. But now that we have some extra dirt, I can go ahead and continue working on our little garden areas and hopefully get some of these saplings growing. Once we can get some of these trees and saplings growing, we can bring some more life and greenery to our build and add more color than just the oak and dirt look we're going for right now. What I'm gonna do in the meantime is break these dirt that we had placed here at the start, and I'm gonna start forming out some little areas where we can build roads and pathways that will eventually wind through our city and connect all of our buildings together. For now, it's gonna be oak, but once I gather more cobblestone and other stones, we will turn it into more of a road color look, but for the moment, all we have is oak and dirt, so that's gonna have to do for now. But now that we have these birch trees growing, I'm gonna break the birch logs and turn them into birch slabs and kind of surround our gardens with them. This will kind of bring our gardens out more and give them more color and a little bit of texture here in our build, just to kind of give our garden bed some contrast so you can really see them in our build. Hopefully, as we progress through this one block series, the one block will start giving us different kinds of blocks to work with. At the moment, we only have access to oak, birch, and dirt, otherwise I would be using other colors to build this with. But for now, these are just going to act as placeholder blocks to kind of work with in the meantime. If we don't end up getting any of the other blocks, I do see that the end portal's over there. I'm not sure how long the one block regenerates for, if it is the whole game or if the whole game is just to go defeat the end. I plan to do a little bit of peaceful building first though. I'm not necessarily planning to speedrun in this series, but the end will be something we get to eventually, just not at the moment. But as I am finishing up these garden bed on the corners, you can kind of see the shape that we were going for. You may notice that it's kind of a square shape now. It will be more rounded once the roads and stuff are built, but the square shape was easier to work with the slabs. And it looks like we just got a turtle. I don't have necessarily anywhere to put him at the moment, neither do I have much water. I'm just gonna let him hang out in the meantime. I do hopefully plan to have like a little aquatic area for all of our water mobs, but in the moment, all I have is this little platform that we got going on here, so. I am noticing we are getting a ton of villagers and wandering traders at the moment, but I don't necessarily have a huge supply of emeralds. I did try to get some bread, but I don't really have a use for them at the moment. With all of the llamas the wandering traders spawn with, it's getting really crowded on this little island that we got here. You may notice from this example, I didn't mean to hit the villagers, but the llamas did not know that. So it is getting really crowded and dangerous with all of these llamas that are just hanging out with us. So I might have to clean them up a little bit just to make it a little bit more safer and a little bit less crowded on our one block here. Now that it's a little less crowded, we can go back and mine our one block without having to worry about accidentally hitting any wandering traders. Alberto! We have a camel, guys! Now, I don't have an enclosure or anywhere to put him yet, but I love camels. Ever since I added them, they have been like one of my favorite animals to get in Minecraft. So we're gonna put Alberto over here until we can find somewhere to put him. But what an exciting find in our one block. No, our axolotl! I had put him in a little enclosure or a little block and he just got out, and that's unfortunate. We're really gonna have to find a better place to put our animals because this little sky island is very dangerous at the moment, and we unfortunately keep losing a lot of our animals, it looks like. Now, what we're gonna work on here is kind of our first starter house. I'm going to use these wooden slabs to kind of work on the foundation or a platform to build off of, and then we're gonna use our sandstone blocks to kind of form a mixture to get our first layer of our house. That first layer is gonna act as kind of a foundation that you may see on a lot of houses outside. They're kind of on like a stone foundation. And then on top of that sandstone foundation, we're gonna start using a similar block color, which in this case, it's gonna be birch planks. And then we're gonna build that up into kind of a medieval styled roof. And that roof will be a fun color. I haven't decided on which color yet, but probably something bright and something very contrasting compared to that yellowy sandstone birch color. And then it'll be a first start to our new city that we're gonna start working on. Now, when I build majority of my houses, I always start with like a foundation layer with a base color, and then I will bring it up out one block as you go up the house to kind of give it some definition or texture look. But I usually always start with a L shape with a medieval roof style. It's one of my favorite styles to build in Minecraft, and choosing this new block color is going to be a change for me, but it's going to be very fun to see which different block colors we can use. And even throughout our city, you might see a very wide range, a variety of house colors, roof colors. It'll be a very colorful city, and it will all blend together once it's done. Kind of like if you were to go to like San Francisco, or you go to those lakeside houses, and a lot of them are like a bright blue, yellowy color, or sometimes even pink. You'll see a lot of different colors and shades, and that's the kind of city that I want to go for. Now that we kind of got these stripped birch logs for the corners and the center, we're going to start building up our center or the middle point of our medieval house here. Now, normally I do this part on the second floor, but this is going to be a smaller sized house than what I'm usually building when I build medieval houses, but it will be a great start to like a village house. Like if we were to have shorter houses in the front, taller houses in the back, this is a good start to building our city. Now, one block is always a challenge that I wanted to try, but I just never got around to it playing Minecraft. Usually I like building in survival, kind of vanilla Minecraft, so I've never really gotten around to playing one block. I've played a little bit of Skyblock, so I'm kind of familiar with how it works, but not too familiar with one block in general. I've seen some gameplay, but I've never played it personally. But this has been a really fun experience so far, and I'm glad that you guys are all on this journey together. If this is something you want to follow along with, or just something that you are interested in, please feel free to subscribe or like, or just comment below if you enjoyed the video so far, or if there's any kind of series that you want to see in Minecraft or want to see a gameplay of, just let me know. I'm always willing to try new things. As for like one block, this is one of the first things I've tried and I'm having a really fun experience so far. So if there's something you feel like I should try, feel free to leave a comment, or if you'd like to see a gameplay of something, just let me know. And we are always open to suggestions on this channel. As I'm kind of building up these walls now, you can kind of see where I'm leaving openings for windows. These might change as I'm building it up, but for now I'm kind of just leaving the openings to kind of give me ideas of where the windows could be. Because once I build the exterior, sometimes I will adjust where the windows are and make them line up with the roof a little bit better. But interior wise, this is where I'm seeing the windows would work. Can't really go around exterior wise at the moment since I don't have a platform surrounding the house quite yet, but once we get there we can really add more exterior details and then start designing the interior once we get more blocks. Oh my gosh, we just got another camel, guys. That means we're gonna have to drop everything we're doing and make a camel enclosure, because obviously we have to put these two somewhere nice. We are going to name this new camel Camelo, because Camel, Camelo. We're gonna take Alberto and Camelo and make them a nice safari habitat with a little safari themed fence with some sand, some dirt, some acacia wood. It's gonna be great. So let's go get started. I think I'm gonna put it over next to our house. I'm gonna take some cobblestone and build a little bit of a road so we can connect our platform to where the camels are gonna be. I'm thinking the camels are going to go over on this side of the island for now. We might move them later on, but we're gonna make them a cute little enclosure over on this side. We're gonna take our cobblestone, build out 2 blocks from the platform to give us a little bit more room to walk, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started on our camel enclosure. I went ahead and farmed some of those acacia trees to get these acacia slabs. These are gonna be kind of the floor of our camel enclosure here. I want to go for kind of an orange deserty kind of style for their enclosure to kind of match the colors of their natural habitat might be. I'm gonna outline it with the acacia slabs here, and then I'm gonna fill in a little bit of dirt in the center so we can plant some shrubbery and some natural trees and stuff in here as well for them once we make it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some sandstone to kind of start forming the wall here. I want to make sure it's tall enough because I know that camels can just walk over fences as they are. So we want to make sure it's at least 2.5 blocks tall. And we're going to start with the sandstone to give it that sandy, beachy kind of theme here. I know it's not looking like the biggest enclosure at the moment, but this is going to be a great place for our camels to stay until we can build them something a little bit bigger. It'll just keep them out of the way and keep them at risk of getting hurt or falling off the edge. So this is going to be a great addition to our island here to house our camels, and maybe we can throw a couple of the other animals in here as well. But for now, we're just going to plan to have it for just the camels. As you can see, I'm kind of implementing some of this bamboo wood. I haven't really built with this a ton, but I thought that the bamboo would go nice with the theme we're going for here. So we're gonna take the bamboo wood and add a little bit of accent pieces, and then I went ahead and crafted these acacia fences to go kind of on the sides here, just so we can kind of peek through to see our camels as we're mining our 1 block or just working around the island. And then we'll take these half slabs that I crafted. These are made out of birch to kind of go with that sandy color at matching the bottom, kind of outlining those acacia fences so it's not too much orange, too much yellow. It kind of breaks it up a little bit. And we want to make sure that the camels can't jump over it, so I'm breaking that cobblestone kind of rock I had in the corner here, just to like hopefully prevent them from walking out in any way possible. I'm gonna go ahead and take these dirt. I'm kind of limited on dirt, so I'm trying to make the floor look a little bit nice here with using the amount of dirt I have. I'm gonna kind of lower little parts of this interior here on the floor just to kind of give it a little bit more of texture, kind of definition. The little bit of height difference kind of brings out more contrast when you're doing little builds like this. I know it's not a big detail and a lot of people don't choose to do it, but this is just something I like to do in a lot of my smaller builds just to kind of give more contrast. Now that our enclosure is done, we're gonna go ahead and grab both Camelo and Alberto and take them to our camel enclosure and kind of get them all settled in here. Come on, Camelo. We're gonna hook you up to the fence just for a moment so you don't walk out the door there. Look at his little ear wiggles. He's so happy to be in his new enclosure. I'm gonna strip these just to give it that more yellow look. Now we can go grab Alberto and bring him into his new enclosure as well. Come on, Alberto. We gotta take you over this way. Look at those little ears wiggle. Camels are so fun. And we'll get him all settled in here as well. Look at them in their nice little habitat. I will expand it once we get more blocks and stuff, but it's a nice little enclosure for the moment. Now that our camels are all settled in, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sheep and a cow that I found when I was mining a little bit more blocks off camera. We're gonna go ahead and take these two into our camel enclosure for now, just to keep them safe. We wouldn't want to lose another sheep in this series, so let's just get them all settled in here. Oops, I forgot you were hooked up to the fence here. There we go. Let's take you two in here with the camels. It wasn't meant for other animals, but I figured it'd be a good way to keep them safe for now. I am going to end up building like a barn or something to put all of our farm animals in, but that works for now. Next, we're going to go ahead and start mining our 1 block some more in order to get some more blocks, and hopefully we can start working on our house a little bit more with the other blocks that we can gather here. And look at that, we got a frog. We're going to go ahead and hook him up here because I don't want him hopping off the edge or anything, and then we'll go ahead and continue mining here a little bit. We got another turtle. Now, unfortunately, the last turtle we got didn't make it very long. But we're gonna go ahead and just let him hang out a little bit. I do want to make like a beachy little area for all of our aquatic creatures, but obviously we're on a floating sky island and don't have a ton of room to make that at the moment. But we're just gonna go ahead and continue mining a couple blocks here. And for some reason that zombie just started attacking this baby turtle. I didn't know that zombies attacked baby turtles, but it's kind of rude. Now the baby turtle is trying to run away. I'm gonna put this baby turtle in a little box here so that zombies don't just randomly attack him. I don't know if this has always been a thing. I don't usually experience turtles that much when I play survival, but I didn't know that they would just kill baby turtles for no reason. But we'll put him in a little box for now, just so he's a little bit safer from the zombies. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue mining our 1 block here. Now that we've gathered a bunch of more blocks, we can continue working on our house. We're gonna go ahead and take these wooden planks over to our house and start building up the back wall a little bit more. I want to hopefully complete this house enough where we can start moving our storage, our bed, and our crafting area over into this little house instead of being next to the 1 block. It's just gonna be a whole lot easier for when we are mining that 1 block and hostile mobs spawn, that all of our stuff isn't right next to the 1 block. Continuing our walls here, I'm keeping those windows in mind and making sure I'm keeping little holes here where I think the windows would look good. This house is a smaller village-sized house. This is usually the foundation on my medieval houses, but this is going to be a smaller house to start with, and then we can make the bigger houses later on. I'm gonna go ahead and start making those triangle shaped on the top here to kind of form where our roof's gonna be. I haven't yet decided what color we're gonna do the roof yet. I'm thinking something a little bit more contrasting than a normal color. Our wolf just fell out of the world. I am not sure how that happened. I'm assuming one of the villagers or something must have pushed him off the edge, which is very unfortunate. It looks like we got a great start to our first house here. I'm gonna go ahead and look to see what colors we could possibly work with. It looks like we do have some mangrove log. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough. It doesn't look like it, but we can always get started on the front of the roof and then grab more mangrove as we gather more from the one block. I'm gonna go ahead and start by putting one block on each of the little each of our little triangle bits here. And then we will bring it out a little bit. This is just kind of going to be your typical roof that you see. I'm going to use those upside down staircases to bring it more texture, more little detail pieces. We're going to go up and we're going to put staircases on the top of those upside down staircases. Most of you know how to build a roof, but this is just my process of building this roof. We will do some more complicated roofs as the series progresses, but this is just going to be your simple, typical roof that you see on majority houses. The reason I like to use a different color roof than you typically see when you build a house is it just brings attention to detail on these big houses. Normally when I build a bigger house, I'll use a strange color roof, kind of like red, blue, maybe even purple, and then mix in some other block colors of that palette. Like if I'm using red, I can add in some netherrack, some stripped mangrove, even some mangrove trapdoors on top of the netherrack, some brick, and kind of all mix it lightest to darkest on the big roofs. And then those little attention to details look great from a distance as you kind of see the lightness to darkness effect as you are looking at the scale of that roof. And then having those different block palettes in a larger roof like that helps break up the roof as well as bring attention to detail to the larger roofs. Another thing you can do when you're building a large roof is add things like chimneys, little windows peeking out. For this little house, I am going to add a little bit of a chimney here just to kind of give some extra details since we have a smaller roof and we are really limited to our block palette on this one block island. I am going to use some of the gray blocks I have on hand, which is just some gravel and cobblestone at the moment, but we hopefully will get more stone bricks, some more andesite, more stones as we progress. But this is going to be a great little start to our little city here. We'll take a step down and we'll take a look at our house here. This has been an incredible journey on our first episode of our one block series. If you did make it through the entire video, I just want to take a moment and thank you guys so much for watching. This is one of my first episodes ever recorded, so if you did like it or if you do have any comments, feel free to let me know down in the comments section. Let me know what you liked, let me know if I can improve anything, or if there's any series or gameplay you want to see. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you all in the next episode of Minecraft One Block. Goodbye.